Welcome to episode 5 of Mock SportsCenter. This is the MLB segment. We're going to be talking about baseball. I think the big thing right now is state of the playoffs. We have 2 teams already locked in for NLCS, ALCS, and then we're waiting on the Dodgers-Padres and the Tigers-Guardians. Who do we think's coming out of that one?
Listen, Stephen Kwan has been one of the best players all year. I don't think anyone doubts that. So I think him and J-Ram are going to lead the Guardians to a win against the Tigers.
I believe with all of Cleveland's pitching depth, I really do think that Cleveland's going to take this one, especially at home, really. And I just think with more playoff experience, really, I think Cleveland will easily take this one.
I don't know how you can say that over the Tigers. I mean, Tariq Skubal starting Game 5. The Tigers, they've just had guys constantly stepping up. I think they have a good chance. Now, about the way more interesting one, Dodgers-Padres. Been a great series so far. 2 blowouts, though. Who do we think's coming away Game 5?
The Dodgers, they've been known to really choke at home in elimination games, really. And I think coming off a rest day and that Padres bullpen and Yu Darvish and Tatis, as hot as he is, I really do think the Padres are going to win.
I think that the Dodgers are going to win that. They have the best player in the league, Shohei Ohtani. He's a dog, and I think he can definitely carry that team.
I've just been disappointed by the Dodgers.
You're right. They do. They have been known to choke, but I think they can pull out.
I think the Padres. I think Tatis is hot. I think the team is rallying behind Tatis, and I think big surge could happen. Now, no matter what happens, who do we think is going to win those? We know who we think is going to win those games. Who do we think is going to make it to the World Series? What do we think that matchup's going to look like? And then who do we think is going to win it all this year? Out of these 6 teams, who's going to take it home?
I got to go. I love this team. They're red hot right now. Best record in baseball since June. The New York Mets. They just got something about them that you just love to see it. With Iglesias getting called up, with just Lindor having a crazy season. I really think the Mets are going to go all the way. And I think coming out the American League, I got the Yankees. Subway Series. Let's go again.
You know what? I actually agree with that with both teams. I think Lindor, team's going to rally behind him. He's going to continue his greatness. He's a great player. He can, he's going to continue what he's doing in the Yankees. Stacked team, Aaron Judge, all those guys. So I think it's really all about the momentum. I feel like whoever wins Game 1, I feel like will definitely have the upper hand throughout the series. But momentum is key.
I really think, I think Mets, no matter who they play, they're red hot. They're going to come out on top. However, I think in the ALCS, I think the Yankees are going to be too confident. I think whoever shows them up, the Guardians or the Tigers, I think they're going to pull out. I'd love to see them in the World Series. But I do think the Mets are going to win this all this year, which pains me. But now to our mini game segment, we have, is it a real minor league team name? Minor league team names in baseball are known to have a history of wacky and weird names. So I've pulled a list of some real ones and some fake ones, and we're going to be seeing if they can sleuth out the real ones and the fake ones. Starting us off, we have the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Is that a real team or a fake one?
I'm going to say that's a real team. That just sounds
that does sound like a real team to me.
Sounds like something
that
out of there.
That is a real team.
Ooh.
Next one we have the Florence Yalls.
Florence Yalls, you can go first.
Florence Yalls. I've never heard of Florence, and I don't know what a Yall is, so I'm going to go fake team.
I'm going to go real team again.
That is a real team. Next one, we have the Sugarland Space Cowboys.
All right, just off like the name, I'm saying that's fake. That sounds like a joke. So I'm say that's fake.
I'm going to go with Evan here. I really think that's a fake team.
That is a real team.
That's absurd.
That is a real minor league team. Next one we have the Delaware Fighting Blue Hens.
I'm going to say that's fake.
I'm going to go real here.
That is a fake team. Next, we have the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
Sod Poodles? I'll go fake again.
I think I'm going to go real.
That is a real team. I think Sod Poodles is a nickname for groundhogs or meerkats.
Great.
Wow.
Thanks for listening to the MLB.
How's it going? This is our NFL segment, and I'm here with
Parker Stone,
Dan O'Neill, Andrew Angeli.
And guys, who, in your opinion, is on pace for having the MVP season this year.
I mean, MVP season. I mean, everyone doubted this guy. No one thought this guy would come out to be an MVP caliber player. And I'm going to go with Sam Darnold. He did have a weak start last week, but I think he'll probably bounce back, and I think he's going to have a really good season with just that system he's in with Jay Jettas, Jordan Addison. That's just a good offense to be in.
And also T.J. Hawkinson coming back after injury in these coming weeks, so that'll definitely add to that offense.
But can he fill Big Kirko's shoes?
Well,
Can
so far he's done it, so we'll see though.
Will he ever beat Big Kirko Chance?
It's
No.
a hard feat to accomplish.
Who's your MVP?
My MVP candidate, I would go with Joe Burrow. I'm playing out of his mind right now, but with an MVP guy, you got to be on a winning team, and the team that's winning right now, I'd say, is the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff had a perfect game.
Is that the first ever in NFL
I
history
think there might
No,
for a
be.
there's
quarterback
no
to have
way.
100% passing
But I
percentage?
mean,
no
the
way.
Lions, they're just on the come up right now. I really expect big things from them, and I expect Jared Goff to lead them to a great season and keep on doing better and win MVP. Sneaky pick.
All right. In my opinion, I'm gonna go with good old Josh Allen. He had a really hot start to the year. He was playing really, really well. I mean, recently he kind of has not really fumbled, but he's kind of like not done great these past 2 games. But I mean, last year his numbers were off the charts. He set a rushing touchdown record for quarterbacks, beating out Cam Newton, which is very impressive. And I think he's just gonna follow that again this year. He's really got no one to throw it to, and he's making these receivers look like great guys. And let's be honest, like Khalil Shakir and them, they're good, but they're definitely they are not. Sure, Keon Coleman too. They're good, but they are not elite. They are like if put Tyreek on that team and he's going off. But he's
the
throwing
real
to his best
question
friends
is,
right now, like his
can-
buddies from down the street.
Can Josh Allen beat the good teams, Because, his 2 good games are against the Jaguars and the Cardinals.
Right.
And then his bad games has been against the Ravens, the Dolphins, and then one other team.
Are the Dolphins even a good team anymore?
No, I
They're-
don't think
I
so.
would not.
But
I
I
mean,
think-
that's a good question.
I think like the way you put it, can Josh Allen beat the good teams? It's not the Bills. It's Josh Allen carrying the Bills on his back.
which is why I think he would be a great
No,
for
that's a
most
nice
valuable
segue.
I
player.
understand.
It's a nice segue into my MVP pick. I'm going to have to go with Joe Burrow. He is a good player on an atrocious team. Who is he throwing to?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. T. Higgins still?
Yeah,
Like-
T. Higgins has been solid.
I mean, they've been.
But I
they've
mean-
been fine.
He threw for 5 touchdowns and they still lost.
That's
Is that on the
An
defense?
yeah, of
That's
course.
on the
That's
defense.
definitely not on the offense. That's a
But
huge.
I do
defensive
really
problem.
like how Joe Burrow makes up for his team's mistakes, and I've never really seen him lose his cool. So I really appreciate that in the quarterback.
Okay, and who do you think is on pace for Rookie of the Year?
I mean, really, you got to give it to Jaden Daniels. He's playing better than most quarterbacks in the NFC right now. He's probably a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. And then my 2 runner-ups have to be Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harrison Jr. They're both having amazing seasons, but I think the quarterback position is just so much more important, and so Jaden Daniels is definitely going to win it.
I agree. I think Jaden Daniels will also win it, but I think really his big, runner-up would be Malik Neighbors. I mean, he's making Daniel Jones look good. We've never even seen that before. He and even like with Daniel Jones, like if you watch the games, like his throws will still be like behind Malik, and he'll jump up, reach out, and still make a huge play out of it. And I think if he continues to be healthy, like he's hurt last week, he's hurt this week again, but he would be the runner-up if he continues to go on pace.
Now I like Jaden Daniels at 1. I like Malik Neighbors at 2, but I don't know if MHJ is really good enough for 3. Brock Bowers has been playing his heart out in every game, and his quarterback is Gardner Minshew, who is sick mustache, not so sick quarterback. Brock Bowers is performing better than Mark Andrews, so shout out to Brock Bowers for making up for Mark Andrews' mistakes.
I can't go against the kid in Washington. I mean, I don't know what it is with LSU producing these amazing quarterbacks as seen with Burrow and Daniels, but he's turned Washington into arguably top 5, top 3 team in the league right now. I can't go against him for Rookie of the Year.
And so, who is your who do you think has the best team in the NFL right now? And do you think they're going to the Super Bowl, or do you think they're making a deep run at the playoffs, or what do you think?
I really like the 49ers right now. I think they had a kind of a show out last night against a pretty solid defense in the Seahawks. Brock Purdy isn't the best quarterback, but he runs the offense well. Last night there were a handful of injuries that kind of hindered them, but they played through it and they did a really good job getting through adversity. So I like them in the playoffs because I know that even when their big guys go down, they have people to fill those spots. And it's only going to get better when CMC comes back.
I mean, really looking at it, we have a lot new young teams coming into the playoffs. So really, if you look at it based off playoff experience, you got to think of the Chiefs first off. But do you really think they're going to three-peat? So I think other teams in like the NFC, such as like the Lions, and also in the AFC, such as the Texans, with a lot more playoff experience, coming from like young teams with like grit like that, I think they're going to be coming hungry. So I got to have either the Texans or the Lions here.
I can't go against the Lions. I mean, Jared Goff showing off. Their running back room, I think, is the best in the league. Gibbs and Montgomery, just a power duo. Their defense looks solid, too. I really can't go against it. I think the Lions are looking to make a deep run. I don't know if they're Super Bowl bound yet, but I think they have a good shot at making it.
I agree with the 49ers. I think they're a great team. They have a lot of depth. Fred Warner is doing absolutely insane right now.
Did you see that tackle he had? I don't know if it was this season, but it was. He launched himself at a running back with enough force, enough velocity to still knock him over, like an actual spear, a human spear. It's just.
Well, watching him last night, there was a screenplay. There was 3 linemen. 2 of them were going on him. He broke through both of them, made the tackle, prevented the first down. Huge play. His forced fumbles, he punches that ball out. He's really leading that defense. And again, with the offense, CMC goes down, someone pops up, doing great. Jordan Mason. He's doing great. When CMC comes back, they'll be even better. I think the only questionable part is Brandon Ayuk's role. I think he needs to step it up. We talked about him all summer with his trade deals, and he has just not lived up to any of that hype. So he's got to really, lock in. But Juwan Jennings is doing great in his replacement. So I think the Niners will most likely be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Speaking of trade talks and Brandon Ayuk, I would like to ask, where do you guys think Devontae Adams will go amongst these trade rumors right now? Do you think he's going to stay, or do you think he'll get traded?
I don't see a world in which he doesn't leave the Raiders. I mean, Raiders are looking horrible right now. I know Devontae wants to get out, and I can't really see him joining Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers isn't looking like what he used to be with Devontae, and I think Devontae will go with his college football quarterback, Derek Carr, and join him in the Saints. And with him and Kamara, I think the Saints' offense could return to their early weak forms and become a dominating offense once again.
I think he might. I agree. I don't think he's going to go to the Jets. I think Aaron Rodgers has not really shown off what he's been able to do in the past. I also don't think he's going to go to the Saints with Derek Carr. I just have a feeling he might go up to Washington with Jaden Daniels. And, they're not in need for a receiver, but an added receiver would definitely be, especially as the lead as Devontae Adams.
So, in this point in his career, you think he's just ring chasing? He's trying to kind of build a legacy.
Yeah,
for himself?
we've seen he's been very upset in Las Vegas. A couple years ago, Jimmy G, he was like, I got to get out of here. He's feeling the same way now. I think he wants his ring.
I think he'll go to the Packers, a reunion there, going on a young team. They kind of need a good wide receiver one. I think he could also help Jordan Love there in his role as a young quarterback.
Okay, and that'll do it for our NFL segment.
This is our hockey segment. I'm Charlie.
Nolan.
Xavier.
Owen.
Okay, so first we're going to talk about what do you guys think about the Blues starting off with 2 wins?
I believe I saw the game against the Kraken scoring 3 goals in under 3 minutes. I thought that was wild. The Blues offense is looking really strong this year. I went to one of the preseason games, and we were looking really strong. Defense is lacking a little bit. There's couple defensive breakdowns that led to some bad goals, but overall, I think that people are counting us out, and I think we have a shot this year.
I kind of disagree. I think that we got 2 lucky wins, some fluke goals bouncing off of defenders, and yeah, we definitely do. I do agree with your defense. We need to get Parayko off the team, I think.
Yeah, Columbus Blue Jackets was not a pretty win in preseason. We gotta do better than that in the future, and we gotta lock down on defense, like you said, and find a way to score more goals.
I don't know, Charlie. I kind of disagree with that statement. I kind of believe that the way you score is those weird fluke, dirty goals. I mean, doesn't matter how you score as long as you score. So I think other teams might be scoring prettier, but as long as we're getting those goals in, we can beat some of these better, more skilled teams.
Well, what I'm thinking is it's not going to keep happening. So
Yeah, I mean,
I actually have skate out in hockey, and that doesn't happen.
yeah, fluke goals. I mean, they don't happen every game, but also it's just as good as a
I play
pretty
Central
goal.
States.
So.
But pretty goals don't happen every game.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying
I
it's
play
a
club.
goal. No, I'm agreeing with you. Goals are goals, but I think the Blues also didn't play the greatest 2 teams to start off the season. So right now the standings are Utah Blues at the top, but neither of them have played good teams to make wins. So I think we have to see how the season goes. But it's not a bad start. It's a good start, but we'll see how it goes when they play against better teams like
Yeah.
Florida or Edmonton, who led the
I say we
last
need to
year.
find a bigger challenge, higher ranked teams, known with a good reputation of being playoff teams. I think that'll really test us and see if we can find a way to win the division or sneak into the playoffs in a wild card.
Yeah, see if our not as high tier defense can really hold up against stronger teams like that.
Okay, so what do you guys think about Malcolm Celebrini? You guys think he's a bust, or you think he's going to be potentially
boom.
next?
Depending on his
Rookie
first
of the
goal,
year.
can't really tell so far. It wasn't the prettiest goal, but still got one.
Also, yeah, it was a fluke goal, but it was a pretty cool spinorama, and he's looking really fast out there.
Yeah.
But
So,
I did
think,
see a play where he wasn't really back checking,
Yeah.
so maybe.
I think his defense and his strive in that sense isn't as strong as you want. I think he kind of pushes for the offensive side of things, but I think he's a good add to the team. I think that their first line with him and Toffoli together, I think it's a good pair. I think that San Jose won't be bottom of the tier this year. I think they'll definitely be a better team than they were last year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think he's a bust.
You think why?
Yeah.
Why do you think he's
Yeah,
a bust?
why?
I just see you were talking about him not really back checking very hard. I mean, with the league these days, there's so much good offense out there. I mean, I really think that the best teams have a strong defense.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Mm.
You
So
can-
I really think
A team has
that
been kinda built on their
a
defense.
defensive forward is better than more of an offensive forward.
Yeah.
I have to
So
disagree
I think
because
it's gonna be
especially as he matures in the league, he's gonna eventually get that defensive set of mind that he didn't have in college.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna have that.
I
I
mean-
agree, but going back to what Nolan said, kind of the point of a forward is to score goals rather than defense. So as long as San Jose can hold up defensively, I think that Macklin, as long as he's scoring, he'll have his role on San Jose.
Yeah, and I think as long as San Jose can have a defense to work off of with him not being the strongest defensive player, that with that offense that he brings, they can still together.
And that's all we have for the hockey segment. Thank you.